If you want this show more often, complain to John and send him emails at john@loveme.com or call and say, hey John, we need more Greg. And Glenda. Glenda's here tonight.
Yeah, I am here now. It's been a while.
It's been
long
a
time
while.
no see. I mean, long time you guys not see me.
Yes, long time no see. You got it right. Well, that's not their fault. That's your fault.
I'm busy. I have a child now.
You're not busy. You're shy. That's why.
No, I'm not.
Honey, you want to do the show? No. Why? Because I'm shy.
No. I have a baby.
Yes, we have a baby. He is 16 months old as of yesterday.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? 16 months ago, you popped that little squirt out?
Yeah.
Craziness.
Can't believe
Craziness.
it.
And then we're going to try to fly to the Philippines with him for Christmas. Oh boy. And he is a big boy now. He is definitely no longer a front or middle row picture kid. He is definitely a back row picture kid nowadays. And he's flying on lap to the Philippines, 20-something hours each way.
Oh,
Yay,
God,
us!
that's pain in my ass.
Yes, that is correct. All right, guys, as always, I do love when you guys lead the conference call here. I like when you guys are able to use on the website at loveme.com/live, or if you're on the main website, loveme.com, click on the AFA webcast watch now, the little blue box right there below the tours listing, the upcoming tours. And then you can ask your questions via chat right above that where it says ask question via chat now. I made sure to mute my computer already so it won't start making noise. Right above it says question by instant text. Also, if you're on our Facebook page or on our YouTube channel, our producer is monitoring those questions, so he will go ahead and make those questions show up on the screen for me so I can answer those for you. We did have one very, very long question ahead of time regarding IMBRA and the new IMBRA requirements for AFA. Yeah, that really long one from Frank. I'm going to try to I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm going to try to break down the gist of Frank's question. So Frank wants to talk to a lady from China. I guess they've been corresponding, and he's trying to get more information on how IMBRA works. So there is, I'll give the basic rundown of how the IMBRA law works. And for all those that aren't familiar with it, IMBRA stands for the International Mail Brokers Regulation Act. You can thank Senator Cantwell for that law. He basically wrote it in such a manner that it makes all American men sound like we're just these awful people who are going to go prey on these poor, stupid girls from other countries because she thinks we're all animals. That's really how the law is written.
What?
It makes all women from other countries sound like they're too dumb to understand what's going on and that American men are just coming to prey on you.
Why?
Because she thinks American men are terrible. And she's a U.S. senator. Right, there are bad people all over the world. There are bad men in every country. It's not just bad people in the U.S. only. They're all over the world. There are guys that treat women badly. But the men that are doing this, they're not going to be out there trying to actively bring a woman to the United States for marriage. I mean, that's not what they're going there to do. So it's really just kind of a really bum law that got passed years back, got connected into another law that was definitely going to pass, and she tacked it on as a rider to that law, and it went right through. So it doesn't affect most people except us. We all deal with it. And what that means is we cannot legally share a lady's information with you unless she has signed the IMBRA release form. And to have that done, a woman would have to go to the local office to sign your IMBRA release form per the request that you make. A little bit of an update to that is now AFA is requiring that the form be signed in person while you are in that country as well. So we're not having women just sign a form to exchange information. We had just so many problems with just getting the women to come and sign the forms. You also have to remember, a lot of these women don't live near the office, especially in China. The Chinese office, the people that are in our Chinese office, they actually go out to other cities and other provinces in China to recruit women for this site. As you can see, our camera is having a freak out in the background. The video in our beautiful water wall just decided to like freak out and go flying. That was fun. So now so it just becomes a really hard thing. There are ways to get the form sent to the woman and sent back, but then it becomes a legality issue of did she sign it or did someone else sign it? So it's just become a simpler thing to have the woman sign it when the introduction to you is made in person in their country. So we're not going to be doing any more over the internet IMBRA. And again, this is more to protect you guys, because again, if we send a girl a form, we don't know if it's that girl. She may have signed up, but the form may show up and her mom signs it or her sister signs it, and then they come to us. Why did you give this guy my information? Why is this guy calling me? I never told you could do that. And it's just become such a hardship. And again, you have to understand, in the past, you know, before these laws happened, you know, a guy would get the girl's thing and then he would just never stop calling her or stop pestering her. And so a lot of women, they don't want to give out that information to some guy that, honestly, they don't know you when you're talking via email. There's no way to really know that person. You know, my wife and I met via, you know, AFA and exchanged emails, but when, you know, once we talked, we met in person, then we talked, but before there was a live connection, you know, you don't know if it's that person, who that person on the other end of the email is. It's just, you don't know until you're in person. So it's a lot harder to do anything. So it's just easier that when you're there, make the introduction, you meet the person, then exchange your information. Because there's no point in exchanging information with a woman if you're not planning on going there. What's the point of having this girl in China's phone number if you're not going to go to China for another 2 years? I mean, these women aren't looking to wait 2 to 3 years for you to wait to come there to meet them. I mean, these women are not trying to sit there and, you know, have 2-year internet relationships. They're waiting. They want you in the country. They want to meet you, and they want to know this is going somewhere.
Of course.
I mean, chime in whenever you want here, honey.
What do you
Chime in whenever you want. Just, you know, jump in.
ask question?
Ask questions. So, I mean, you have friends that are using this service, right?
Yes.
You gotta speak up, honey.
Yes,
So,
a lot.
I mean, what do they think of it? They don't want to sit there and talk to a guy on the internet for
Of course,
years.
they want to meet in person. Of course, they want to know each other.
Yeah, so I mean, this is the thing. The girls, and obviously, you know, no girl wants to sit there for 2 years waiting for a guy to show up.
Oh, because we think that if there's 2 years, oh my God, it's think that, oh my God, this is not, maybe this is not real.
So
think
the girls
like
think
that.
the same thing. It's not real if you're just
It's real,
writing
you
them
just
emails.
write, yeah,
It's
just
not
writing
real
email.
until you're there.
Yeah, until you see
Until
him.
you're in person and you
Yeah.
exchange, you know, greetings, hello, how are you, and you're right here.
Yeah.
You know, so, and it just is.
Maybe before you, when we are dating, so you asked me that you're gonna go to Philippines, so I don't believe it. Is it? I don't really see the ticket. I just, it's not true. Just
Yeah,
lie. I don't care.
I sent her a picture of my tickets. I actually took a picture of my itinerary because
Yeah,
obviously
that's
I
it.
bought my
Really?
tickets over the internet. So, you know, you don't get a real ticket, but I had the itinerary with, you know, my ID. I blurred out the ID. But I
Really
took a picture
go.
of it and I sent it to her. I'm like, okay, this is the day I leave the U.S. This is the day I land in the Philippines. And, you know, once she saw that, then, you know, there was more
It's
communication because she knew I was actually really coming there, and it was only, you know, 3.5 months down the road. Because I was going to come during the tour in October when but it worked out that was when I could take my vacation. Wasn't planning on it to be at the tour, it just happened to work out that way. But you know, once they know you're coming, and once, you know, you're like, yeah, here, look at that, there's itinerary. I'm actually coming, this is my flight, this is when I'm landing. You know, then it's easier for a girl to be willing to release that information. But, you know, in the past, guys, you know, they try to just get information because it's somehow you think that if you have a girl's phone number that it makes it different. To the girl, you're still just some random guy somewhere else in the world until you're in front of them. You're not, it's not real to them because every guy tells them they're coming to meet them, and no one does.
Because there's other people that they say just chatting, they say lie, you know, it just, oh, you know, when you gonna meet, when you gonna come, and then just say there's a lot of excuses, you know.
So I mean, that's the whole point of why they want, you know, it's easier when you're there. Just go meet the girls. And we've told you for years, you don't have to write letters. You don't have to write letters. You don't have to do introductions. Just go on a tour, do a club, get a personal introduction, it's not that expensive, honestly. If you look at the amount of money you spend on all the emails and all that good stuff, it's cheaper just to have gone than it is to write all those emails. And this is actually footage from Davao. I recognize this room. This is the that's the Davao social room that they use, and that I forget what the name of that place is, but that's it.
Palace, I don't remember.
Something international, something palace, something like that. Yeah, but it's over the river from where the hotel is, and it's like about 15-minute drive or so. So I mean, Frank, I know it's not the answer you wanted, but it's just the reality of what it is. You got to remember, this company spends millions of dollars a year trying to recruit these women to join our site. There's so much involved in this to get women on the site. It's not like we show up in a country and go, hi, you want to meet foreign men? And most of the women go, whatever. And because they know there's so many guys that are just writing emails, writing letters, writing this. You got to go. You just got to go and do it. All right. Mark Smuss. That's a funny name. All right, let's see here. Antonio Hilt. This is Antonio from Chattanooga, Tennessee. My car is made in Tennessee. My sticker on the inside of my door says made in Tennessee.
I don't know that place.
Chattanooga, Tennessee. Tennessee is this little tiny sliver of a state, right above Texas.
Oh.
Maybe right above. I don't know, something like that. In the middle of the country somewhere. Should I correspond with a woman now or wait till I take a trip to the Philippines? Wait.
Don't waste.
I think I just spent.
Don't waste your time.
Thank you. See, don't waste your time corresponding. Just go. But here's the thing too. Like, if you're signing up for a tour, you get they still get email credits with the tour. It's $100 worth of credits or 100 credits.
Somewhere between 150 and 200.
Okay, so you're getting X amount of credits. I forget what it is. You can look it up. It's on the website. I could look it up later. I don't feel like doing it right now. But you get X amount of credits to write emails once you've signed up for a tour. And yes, this is my water bottle. It's not just some random silver thing on the table here. So you're going to get X amount of credits when you sign up for a tour. I don't believe you get it any other way. It's only with a full tour you get those credits. Utilize those credits to email the girls you want to meet and let them know you're going to be at the tour. This way they can make sure to contact the office and let them know they want to meet you, so we can make sure they have a spot at the social. Especially in the Philippines, the places we use, there's a limited amount of people who can be in that room. It's just like here in the US, there's fire code. You can only have X amount of people in a room depending on how big it is. So, there's only a certain amount of women we can pack into these places. So if a woman knows that you're coming and that you want to meet her, she'll make sure to tell our staff that, hey, I want to meet this guy, and we'll make sure she's at that social for you. The other way to make sure you meet the girls you want is when you sign up for your tour, you're going to get a sheet, and it's going to ask you for 20 to 30 ladies you want to meet. So we're going to want you to give us the profile numbers of the girls you're interested in meeting. This way we can make sure to get them there at one of the two socials, because we do not invite the same girls both nights. Each night is a completely different group of girls. So this way you get to meet as many women as possible. But honestly, I would not spend any extra money on correspondence. Use the free correspondence that comes with the social package to contact the women you're most interested in. And then if you want to do a little bit additional correspondence after you've used those credits, go ahead. But I wouldn't spend any money on that until you absolutely know you're going and you have your tickets in your hand. Let's see here. How often do the Filipino women date/marry African American guys? Plenty. On the tour where I met Glenda,
There's more than
4?
100. What?
No, there are about 4. I think 3 or 4 African American gentlemen at the social.
More than that. No.
5? The guys, not the girls.
Yeah, I think
there were about 4 or 5.
No, more than that.
Really?
Yes.
I don't remember.
Like
there were like
8 or 10.
No,
Yes.
no, there weren't that many. Were there?
Yes,
Maybe.
I remember that.
Okay. So, apparently, this was a couple years ago. My memory's not that great. It's not uncommon. There's plenty of African American guys that go there, marry beautiful Filipino women every day. You got to understand, in the Philippines is a little different than most other Asian countries. Most other Asian country, everyone is one color. in the Philippines, you have the same multi-shades that we have here in the U.S. You have girls that have extremely white, Chinese-looking features with very white skin. You have women like my wife who have more of the tan complexion, the more Spanish complexion from the Spaniards that rule the Philippines. And you also have women that have a much darker complexion, more in line with African-American women that you might see here in the U.S. So in the Philippines, you have pretty much the whole gambit of ethnic shades, because for many years, you know, the Spanish ruled the Philippines, and they were bringing in, you know, people from Africa and Latin America for labor and things like that on their boats.
Volunteer, there's something like
well,
that.
no, this was back in colonial time, you know, 100 years ago when the, you know, they were colonizing the Philippines. They were bringing in their own slave labor because they already had it. Especially when the French were there. So the French brought, you know, people from the colonies and from Latin America and South America in with them on their boats. So there is a very large ethnic mix of people in the Philippines. So, you know, darker skinned guys, African American guys, guys from Latin America, you kind of all blend in. And you see right there is the African American gentleman sitting on the screen right here, talking to a table. And you just look at the girl right next to him.
Africa, I think.
Yeah, she has darker skin. The girl on the other side of him had much lighter skin. So it's
we are not same color.
It's a hodgepodge, kind of like the U.S. So you really won't have any
because
issues.
some girls using like glutathione.
Well, again,
whitening.
They have the crazy
skin.
whitening. Everything in the Philippines has whitening in it.
Yeah.
And you can't even buy lotion in the Philippines that does not have whitening in the label, because they're all crazy from Asia that they want whiter skin. It's like, why? You come to the U.S., everyone wants tanner
whiter
skin.
Do you
Yeah,
want
I know, but then you come to
pretty?
the U.S. and everyone here has tan, dark skin.
There's some people there that make tan their skin.
Yeah. It's funny, one of our wedding photos, my mother is standing next to Glenda in the photo, and my mother and Glenda look identical. They have the exact same skin color in the photo.
Your mom, because it like...
My mom's very tan.
Yeah.
My mom's
sitting
always in the sun.
Yeah.
She's always out swimming in the pool, at the beach. My mom's a scuba diver, so she's always in the sun. So my mother and my wife have like the exact same skin color.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan. St. Augustine, Florida. Never been to a social and really considering a Philippine social. Was wondering what to expect from start to finish. Watch the video. That's what you're going to expect. Tables full of beautiful women, games, dancing.
Is that free? Everything in there, the food and everything.
Yeah, it all comes as part of the package.
Okay.
They don't pay. The only thing that you pay extra for at a social or on a Philippine tour are those daily excursions.
Okay.
Everything at the socials, all the staff that's there to help you the entire time you're there. That's all included. Your hotel.
Nice.
Ground transportation to the socials, to the excursions, that's all included. The only thing you pay for is the actual excursion parts, where you got to pay for the tickets for the boat or the rentals for jet skis and things like that. That stuff you got to pay extra for, but all the ground travel, and especially your airport pickup, that's all included in the price of their tour.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because there's other food
including
in
the
there.
hotel, the 5-star hotel. I don't know why my phone is. Why is my phone making noise?
I don't know, there's something called I don't know, someone.
Someone texting me? Okay, I don't know.
Maybe there's like...
No, I'm getting text messages as well. So yeah, all that stuff is included with your tour. But from start to finish at a social, when you arrive at the venue, there's going to be however many guys that are on the tour. There will be that exact amount of girls standing outside in front of the social hall when you arrive. They will each girl will come grab one of you just at random, and they will walk you into the venue. The music will be playing. You actually walk directly onto the dance floor. You will have a dance with a beautiful Filipina girl right there to start the night off. So you're already dancing with a beautiful girl. Once that dance is over, she will take you back to...
Oh my God.
You know her?
No, I mean the other one.
Oh. I was gonna say, your friends probably are showing up in these videos.
Right.
Once that dance is over, the girl that you're dancing with takes you back to her table, and that's where you start the night. After that, there's a little introduction from our staff, kind of giving you a little idea of what's going to happen the whole night. Once that happens, then there's a little buffet, so you kind of get a quick snack. Which one?
That one in the middle.
in the middle?
Yeah.
The shorter one in the middle?
Yeah.
Okay. From there's a little buffet. Everybody gets a little something to eat. You sit at the table that you start at. You talk to those girls. From there, then every 20 minutes after everyone's eaten, every 20 minutes you move tables, kind of like in a speed dating event.
It's fun.
So yeah, you spend 20 minutes at each table talking to the girls, getting to know each group. Make sure you have a pen and a piece of paper. Write down the girls' names and phone numbers as you're talking to them that you want to see again. And remember, talk to every girl, because you don't know who's friends with who. And at each table, I guarantee you a group of those girls all came together, and they're all sitting together because they're all little buddies. So be nice to every one of them. And after you've gone through each table and you wind up back at the table you started at, then they do the games. No, they do the Miss AFA pageant first. Yeah. Which is they select like a girl from every table. So however many tables there are, they have 10 to 15 different girls, depending on how many guys there are. They do a little pageant. You've seen it on the videos, the little pageant where they're all strutting across. All the guys are the judges, so they give each girl like either a joke or a bad pickup line to use on you. And then they, tell it right here. Here's the Miss AFA pageant. They all get a little thing. They do a little pageant strut. They tell a joke or a bad pickup line. And then all the guys, they vote and they give out, third runner-up, second runner-up, first runner-up, and then Miss AFA. They each get a little sash. They get a little flower, some candy. Just some cute stuff, and it's fun for the girls because they're all dressed up and they all want to feel beautiful for the night. Yeah. So this is exactly why we do that.
They just dress up for you guys.
Yeah, they're dressed up for you guys.
But
I guarantee
we are conservative.
The one pair of high heels that most of these girls own, they're wearing that night, and they've probably never worn them before, or they bought them specifically for this. And then after that, they play all the games. They play a whole bunch of different games, and it's really, some of them are very suggestive. They're fun, it breaks the ice, it helps everybody laugh and have fun. Once kind of that's all over, that usually runs about 3 of the 5 hours. After that, it kind of becomes more of just an open event where you go and you sit wherever you want, talk to whoever you want. They have the music, they have the dancing in the middle there. After that, towards the very end, they usually bust out the karaoke. And so after about after everything's over in that last hour and a half or so, some of the girls that have to work in the morning, they have to leave. Just make sure you're getting the girls information that you want to meet throughout the night. At least get their name and profile number. It's right on that little sticker on their dress. Every girl has her name and her profile number. So that happens both nights, just different group of girls each night. So hopefully that answered your question, Ryan. All right, Ed, are the ladies on an AFA website interested in a guy from the U.S. who is over the age of 55? Of course they are. Of course. Again, my wife was concerned I was too young when we started talking.
Yeah, I really want the guy like 50, 40-ish and 50,
See, jerk.
My husband.
She wound up
I
with
don't
me.
know. I thought it's.
She thought I was
40s.
too young.
Yeah.
Well, I look older.
Yeah, you look old, so.
I look real. Oh, thank you, honey.
Yeah.
You're walking home. You're taking the baby. You're walking home. Are the ages of the women on the AFA somehow verified? Yeah, they have to provide some form of government ID, their birth certificate.
What?
When they sign up. Oh, you got to show your birth certificate or your ID card or something that shows, a government ID. So they all have them. So
we have it, yeah.
Yeah. You guys have, it's a little different. You get yours from the post office.
We have voter's ID and postal
ID. You guys don't have to, yeah, that's right, because a lot of people don't drive there, so not everyone is going to have a driver's license.
No, we don't drive because we have a driver.
You have a scooter.
We have a driver.
You have a scooter cab.
Scooter and jeep.
You have a random person on a scooter. I'll tell you, the funniest thing in the world is my brother-in-law. He's a chef during the day, and in the evening he borrows his my mother-in-law's scooter, and he goes and he taxis on a scooter. There's no sidecar, no nothing. It's a scooter, a 2-seater scooter. And he drives around the malls and places, and people who want to ride, he stops, and random person just gets on the scooter and he takes them where they're going, and they give him some money for it.
Yeah, sideline.
Sideline, is that what it's called? Okay. I thought that was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
We need money, so we have sideline. Work in the morning and work at night. So.
I still think that's hilarious. He borrows mom's scooter to go make some extra money. Mark. Hello, Greg. I hope you're having a great night. What do Filipina girls like to do on a date? Same things American girls like to do. Dinner, movies, beaches, ice cream, normal stuff. Oh, what's wrong, Bubba? Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on.
It's okay.
Our little guy's here tonight, so come here, Squirt. Oh.
There's our little guy now.
Here's our little man. Oh, you want mom? No, you just want to mess with daddy's phone. You can't mess with daddy's phone.
Want mommy.
Say hi. Say hi. Say what's up,
Hi.
dudes. Say what's up, dudes. You want mama? Okay. All right, mama, you go. Hold on. Mama's gonna go corral little man here. All right. All right. So we've lost Glenda. It happens. It was inevitable, guys. Sorry. You're stuck with me again. We're back to just me. I tried to make this a little bit more pleasant for everybody, but now you're just back with my ugly mug. At least there's good video on there for you. So they like to do pretty much all the same things that American girls like to do on dates. It's nothing, any different. Dinner, coffee, movie. Being that all these places are on the beach, you can go to the beach. Walk the mall, things like that. Sorry, talking for half an hour with no water. All right. So let's see. So Mark, hopefully that answers your question for you. I know we're lacking the lovely assistant. It's terrible. So let's see here. Glenn. Very excited about going to the October tour in Davao on the 3rd. I sent Michelle the 15 ladies that I want to attend the social. Question 1. Can I start one-on-one visits on the 4th of October? Yes, you can. When you arrive, you actually will be picked up by one of our staff members. You'll be taken to the hotel. When you get to the hotel, they'll get you all checked in and just let the staff member know that, please line up a date for me in about an hour. Let me go get checked in, let me shower, get freshened up. These are the girls I'd like to meet. See if you can round up one of those for me. And they'll definitely do that. So not a problem at all. Plenty of guys try to get at least one date in the day that they land. So depending on what time you're landing, shouldn't be too much of a problem. Question 2. I'll be staying there for about a month. Will the AFA office assist me if needed after the tour? Yes, if you pay them. So the way it works is as part of your tour for the week or 2 weeks, depending on what you book, our staff is at the hotel with you the entire time. They have what we call our war room. John hates that term, but there's really no better room for it. We rent out a little room somewhere in the hotel, and our staff is there from probably 7 in the morning till 9 or 10 at night. They'll be in there helping assist with dates and things like that. But once the tour is over, that additional support ends. If you'd like to continue having dates set up for you, you would then just, and you can do this with the office there, you can pay for individual introductions. I believe the way it works is because you're on a tour, you probably wouldn't have to pay the initial $125 startup fee. You'd probably just pay, I think it's $75 per introduction. But again, you would call Michelle and talk to her about that. I'm sure there's some kind of discount they can do for you simply for the fact that you're already there on a tour. So talk to Michelle. She'll be able to help you out with that. Hey, buddy, what's up? You hanging out with Dad? Hanging out under the table? Okay. So hopefully that answers your question there, Ed. We have many little people in the office tonight. No, honey, just take them over there and play. It's fine. So, all right, guys, definitely please keep asking your questions. We definitely want to answer those questions for you. So I will kind of go over some other random things. So I think one of the biggest things, and a lot of guys, they get confused about this stuff, is simply for the fact that there is a lot involved in traveling to these countries. You really have to kind of get all your ducks in a row before you go. Make sure you've got all your flights. Make sure you've given yourself a enough time between flights, especially if you've got connecting flights. You know, one of the biggest things is, you know, if you're traveling internationally and you have multiple flights, you know, if you're booking them piecemeal like I do, you have to make sure you give yourself time to get luggage from one airline to the next airline, because if your flight's not one consistent flight booked at one time through like Travelocity or something, your luggage does not move with you. So, and that's one thing that I know a lot of guys, you know, have problems with, and luggage gets lost, is simply for the fact that if you do not book as one consecutive trip, you know, through Travelocity, where it's all booked for you and you just, you know, click, okay, this one, with that kind of package, your luggage will move with you. The luggage will be moved from airline to airline. If you're booking piecemeal, you actually have to do that stuff yourself. You got to go get your luggage each time. You got to bring it to the next counter. You got to, you know, check in again. So there are definitely some challenging things that go with it. Hey buddy, what's up? Little guy's hanging out under the table here. So there's definitely some stuff you guys got to take into factor. Since we're on AFA's website, hi buddy, what's up? Let's go over the upcoming tours real quick. Obviously, we have Cebu starting August 23rd, Bangkok, Thailand, August 30th, Medellin, August 30th as well, Kiev starting on the 13th, Odessa starting on the 20th. Hey buddy, oh, thank you. Thank you for the baba. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of upcoming tours. Let's take a look here. Upcoming seminars, want to get to these real quick. Chicago, September 8th, this weekend. Milwaukee, Wisconsin on the 9th. Following week, or 2 weeks after that, Austin, Texas on the 22nd, San Antonio, Texas on the 23rd, and Boston in August of the 13th. Here you go, buddy. Vinny. Vin, take your baba. Here, take your baba. Yep, okay. Little guy came over here, gave me his bottle, and left. He's over there playing now. All right. So there's a lot of things here, and there's a lot of perks to going to those seminars. I've probably said it before, but here you can see this is, there's all the girls, you know, first runner-up, second runner-up, Miss AFA for the night. Here's actually some of the games that they play. So if you can see, each guy is actually holding an equivalent to a cucumber between their knees, and they play the music, and then music stops. Whichever girl does not have her hand on your piece of vegetable is out, and then they take one guy out and they keep going till there's a winner. So it's definitely a, again, suggestive game, but it's fun. Gets everybody talking, gets everybody laughing. Usually somehow at some point everyone gets knocked over, and it winds up being quite hilarious. See, Kurt in MD. Roughly how much should a guy budget for spending money, USD, per day on days after a tour for dating, fun, and such? Oh, you can ballpark $100 a day. You know, usually if you're going to be there for a week, I usually say it's about, I bring about $1,000 per week. I've never even come close to using that amount, but that's usually what I budget for, you know, when I put my money away for this, that, and the other thing. So usually it's about $1,000 a week, and you'll be happy and you'll be good to go. Because, you know, the tour is one thing. If you do all the day excursions, that's going to run you about an additional $1,000 for all the tickets for you, for the ladies you might be bringing with you, for, you know, jet ski rentals and things of that nature. So it should be fine. I'd budget about $1,000 for excursions, and then $1,000 a week. So if you're only going for a week or the 7-day tour, you know, $2,000, and you should be good to go. Also remember, you can use credit cards there and things like that. You can wire yourself money using Western Union and, you know, stuff like that too. So it's no problem. Dave, I'm going on the January tour to Cebu. What's the weather usually like? Rainy. Also, should I pack more casual clothes or should I pack upscale? What are your thoughts? It's rainy, Dave, and it's humid. As you can see, most of the guys at the socials wearing slacks and a dress shirt, or, you know, slacks and a polo, jeans and a dress shirt. You can see pretty much it's usually pretty casual. But I've seen guys wear everything from, you know, shorts and a polo to shorts and a t-shirt and flip-flops at a social, to guys wearing full-on suits at the social. I do not do well in human environments, so I prefer to wear the least amount of clothing possible. So, you know, don't take that the wrong way, all right? But, you know, at the socials, I just wore, there you can see a gentleman is wearing a full suit. I just did slacks and a dress shirt. You know, tucked in dress shirt, belt, slacks, dress shoes, open collar, rolled up sleeves. But for the rest of the time, I was in shorts, t-shirt, flip-flops, you know. But it's a pretty casual place. You know, the Philippines is a very, very casual country. You don't see people getting dressed up. Most of the girls usually wearing jeans and a t-shirt, or, you know, workout pants and a t-shirt, tank tops, flip-flops. Everybody's wearing flip-flops pretty much all the time. So, I mean, you could wear something, you know, a little bit dressy for the socials. You can see a gentleman in the back there is wearing a full suit. It's up to you what you want to wear, really. So there's no required dress code for our socials. You wear what you want, what's comfortable for you. You know, guys dressed, you know, come in their full-on cowboy gear with their 10-gallon hats and their boots, and the girls love that stuff. And guys come, you know, in nice suits and things like that. You can see the gentleman there, he's wearing a full suit with, you know, just no tie. That's also an option. But whatever, you know, do you is basically what I'm saying. So whatever your style is, just go with that. Let me check the conference call line. Okay, nobody asking questions there. We have not gone to the new profile page in a while, and there is new profiles today. Let's go take a look at new Filipina profiles. Wish they'd put the Filipina girls at the top. Let's see here. Colombia, Costa Rica, Colombia, Thailand. Let's see here. Philippines. All right, there we go. They're in the middle of the page today. So let's see here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 girls from the Philippines today, and very, very pretty girls. Definitely, guys, you should definitely be checking every Wednesday. This is where you're going to see the new girls. I know if you watched our show last month, we had a couple of girls who had just signed up on the show with us. I am going to try again next month to get some more ladies on the show. Just because I know you guys really enjoy getting a chance to see them, you know, in more live than anything else. So let's see here. Kurt, gracias. No problem, Kurt. Ryan, St. Augustine, Florida again. How often do y'all do Philippines every year? We go to the Philippines 4 times a year. I believe it's January in Cebu, March in Davao, August in Cebu, October in Davao. So we go to each city twice a year. Usually we go during the best times of year, so we go usually during the least rainy times of the year. And there you go. There's some of the girls from the Philippines that signed up. You go up one more line, there's another one too there. So there's some of the new girls. Obviously, every Wednesday they go up, so it's a good place to check. It's usually where I used to go to when I posted all social media stuff. I always grabbed girls from the new girls page. So that's where you're going to find them. Also, that's where you'll find links to their videos and all that good stuff, birthday reminders. I remember you can actually send them gifts. That is always something fun, especially for birthdays. Girls, you know, they love getting gifts on their birthday. As you can see, you've got a very lovely dance going on right there on the video. That's always good stuff. Let's see here. All right. Anybody on the conference call line? Really? Nobody's asking questions on the conference call line. That's shocking. Guys, don't be shy. Ask your questions. So, all right, let's get back to travel, because that's one of the things I can never stress enough is being prepared for travel. You know, I could talk for hours about why you want to meet Filipina girls, but you're already here listening to this, so clearly you already want to meet one, so I'm not going to convince you to go meet one. You're already kind of in that mindset. So let's talk about how you're going to get to the Philippines. So the biggest thing is getting that airfare set up and making sure that you're paying attention to layover times. That's a big thing, because sometimes you get those really great rates, but there's, you know, a 13-hour layover somewhere, or a 24-hour layover in, you know, random country A. So you got to really pay attention to those things, because we were pricing our airfare out for our trip in December, and I found a smoking deal, like, you know, $700 a person round trip. And when I was like, okay, there's something wrong here, went and looked at it, there was a 32-hour layover in Shenzhen. I'm like, no. Spend a day and a half in an airport, or have to get another hotel room, go in through customs, back through customs. And especially in China, you can't actually leave the airport unless you have your Chinese entry visa, and that's something you have to get ahead of time. So if you have a layover in Shenzhen, you don't get to leave the airport even if you just try to go through customs. You have to have your entry visa into China. China is not a free travel country. You do have to apply for a Chinese entry visa. They're not hard to get, but you have to do it ahead of time. I'm sure there's ways to do it at the airport if you get stuck with a layover, but I'm sure it's going to cost you a substantial amount of extra money if you want it. So definitely think ahead. Make sure you're planning for those things. Yep, little people playing. Make sure you're planning ahead for all your travel. Make sure you budget your money for traveling expenses, being that you are going to want to potentially eat in airports during layovers and things like that. Airports will accept foreign currency, but they will not return foreign currency. They will return all currency in local currency. So if you happen to be in Seoul, South Korea, and you want to get a soda or a coffee from the little coffee stand that's 50 feet away from your gate, and you pay them in American money, they'll definitely take it, but you're going to be handed a handful of Korean money back as your change. So now, if you're like me, obviously I collect that stuff, so I have a whole box full of foreign currency, miscellaneous currency, coins, things like that. Hey, little buddy, what's up? My little guy's hanging out with me under the table here. What you got? Did you steal one of Bud's Russian nesting dolls from his show? Yes, you did. You like the Russian? Is that cool? Yeah? Yeah, cool. Oh, thank you. Here, you want this? Take that. There you go, buddy. Don't hit it on the table, Bud. Thank you. Really? So as usual, guys, but make sure you're following all the social media here for AFA, because that's where you're really going to find all the stuff about loveme.com, what's going on, ways to see the new profiles, discounts and deals that we're doing with upcoming tours and things like that. So make sure you're really you're following up on that stuff. Let's see here, Steve. So I understand restrictions. If I'm in the Philippines and I see someone on loveme.com website, can I pay AFA's fee to contact that lady? Then could I simply give them my Facebook page, or is that a violation of IMBRA also? So if you're in the Philippines, what you got there, buddy? Oh, okay. Resignation dolls. So the biggest thing, hold on, sorry. Yeah, my phone is like blowing up with text messages. Okay. Got so much stuff going on here. Let's see here. Looking at the website. So if you're in the Philippines, you don't have to worry about IMBRA, because when we arrange the introduction, we're going to have the girl sign the IMBRA form right there at the introduction. If you're in country and you're not using our services for a social or a tour, you would just do what's called a individual introduction. The first introduction is $200. Each additional introduction is $75. The first introduction, there's a $125 setup fee. That's for using the service. And then it's $75 per introduction going forward. If you are a tour client or have been on a tour, talk to Michelle here in the office. I believe sometimes that is something we waive, especially if you're in the country and you've done a tour or used introductions through us. We won't charge that, but that's per city. So if you go to Davao and do a tour and then stay, you can pay just the introduction fee and not have to pay the setup fee, because you're already a pre-existing client there. Let's see here. Yeah, we wouldn't give out your Facebook page. We would exchange information. You would get her information. We wouldn't give her yours. But once that IMBRA form's signed, you guys can exchange whatever information that you want in person. You know, if you want to trade Facebook pages and, you know, Addie's book, trade cell phone numbers, Skype, Viber, whatever those million other apps are, you change whatever personal information you guys want to. So we're out of the loop once the Ember form is signed in person. Ryan, how much would it cost me total for a 10-day tour of Cebu? Well, let's go to the website, Ryan, and tour dates for Asia. Hey, easy, bud. Little guy's sleepy. All right, Cebu. Obviously, the Cebu is already departed, but hey, Kurt, can you pull up the Asian tour date schedule real quick? This way they can see the prices. This isn't, you know, hidden information. All I clicked on AFA's main page on the right-hand side, tour dates for Asia, is what I clicked on, and we'll pull up the screen here. Here you go. There we go. Scroll down just a smidge. So we can use that top section right there for Cebu. All the tour dates for the Philippines are essentially, I believe, the same price for each option. So for Cebu, 7-day, 6-night is $23.95. 10-day, 9-night, $27.95. 14-day, 13-night, $32.95. Obviously, the difference in each price set is the additional nights at the hotel, because you will get you'll stay at the hotel that we use the entire time. So the way that works, though, is the 7 days of the main tour, our staff is in the hotel with you. After the main 7-day tour, the staff no longer stays in the hotel, but you would just continue for introductions. You would just take a cab to our office, and we would do introductions in the office for the additional 3 days or the additional week that you're there. We only rent that extra room there for our staff for the 7 days of the main tour. So that should answer that question. There, the pricing. Let's see here. So for a 10-day tour, I would bring at least $1,500 in cash for your personal spending. If you want to do the excursions, another $1,000 for that. So $2,500 in cash should cover you for all that stuff. I don't personally like using credit cards in the Philippines outside of hotels. I prefer just to pay everything in cash. The hotel has a safe in it. There's money changers, so you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Does the tour include airfare? No. Airfare is separate. You do book that on your own. We will ask you for a copy of your itinerary. This way we have your flight numbers and your arrival times and your departure times, because we do have door-to-door service with the tours, where we will pick you up at the airport and drop you off at the end of your stay. Right. Antonio, when the woman is in the States for the 90, how long we wait to marry? That's entirely up to you, my friend. You could do it on day 1, you could do it on day 89. As long as the marriage license is issued within that 90-day period, you're fine. If you do it outside of that 90-day period, it's not the end of the world if you don't do it in the 90 days, but they get a little more iffy. They question you, why couldn't you do it in the 90 days? You know, everyone else can do it, you can. I mean, my wife and I got married at the, I think we got married at the 2.5 month, nope. We got married at the 2-month and 1 week mark when we got married. So we got married, we got back, and then we had 2 weeks to submit the paperwork, because you do actually have to have the paperwork in the mail at the end of the 90 days. You have to have her adjustment of status paperwork. Essentially, you're supposed to have it mailed at the end of that 90-day period, because her visa is actually only good for that 90 days. So, Dennis, what is the name of the hotel where we will be staying at? Dennis, once you have signed up for the tour, they will provide that information for you. We don't disclose that information until you've signed up for your tour. And simply for the fact that we've had problems where people find out where the hotels are, and then guys go during the tours, they show up at our socials, they show up at the hotel trying to meet girls, get free services, and you know, our staff is there only to help you gentlemen who are on the tour. We're not there to help people who are trying just to get free stuff out of us. That's not going to happen. Our staff is very good at knowing who's on the tour, and when random guys show up, they're very good at dismissing them from the property. Because we're not here to, play those games. We're here for serious. The guys that are going to tour, you guys are spending good money. We're focused on you. So that information will be disclosed to you once you've signed up, Dennis. I know a lot of people ask that, but don't worry. We stay at one of the best hotels in the city, probably one of the best hotels in the city. So you will definitely be wanting for nothing during your hotel stay. Let's see here. All right, got all those questions answered. Chat, really? Nobody asking questions on chat? You guys are... Makes me sad, guys. Makes me sad. Nobody wants to talk to me. No love. No love. So as you can see, again, I have a monitor staring at me, so it's a very distracting video when I'm trying to talk here. Trying to go through here. What were we talking? Oh yeah, travel. That's the biggest thing too, is making sure you've got your airfare booked and you know exactly when you're going to be landing, when you're leaving, because we definitely need to get that information for you ahead of time, just so that we can make sure that we're there to pick you up, and we know what flight you're coming in on. And also too, big thing too is if you're traveling and you wind up having delays, you miss a flight, make sure you get an email sent to us so that we can make sure to let our staff on the ground know, so that we're not sitting there waiting at an airport when you're not there, or you're not going to be there for another 3 hours. So we can make sure we're there when you show up, because that's one of the kind of the bummers about the Philippines, is there is not free Wi-Fi in the airport. So that is kind of a pain. You actually have to buy a SIM card. You can buy SIM cards in the airport to get data on your phone, but they actually really don't have, especially in Davao, there is not free Wi-Fi in that airport. I think Cebu has Wi-Fi, but it's not free. In Manila, there is definitely no Wi-Fi in that airport. The airport in Manila, it's one of the worst international airports I've ever been in. There's no traveler's hotel. There's no Wi-Fi. They don't have air conditioning in that airport. They've got those big box air conditioners that are on wheels. Every couple hundred yards, they've got another one. So you see everyone standing in front of them to get the AC on them. It's a rough airport to wind up with a layover in. I've done it. It's not fun, in my opinion. But yeah, no, every other airport I've ever been through, travelers hotels, fantastic. I try to book my layovers at the nice airports, which is why when we're flying from Phoenix to LA, from LA to Seoul, South Korea. From Seoul, where you've got a couple hour layover. From Seoul, we're flying into Manila, and then we've got only 2 or 3 hours. But we're getting there at 11 o'clock at night, and our next flight's at 4:45 in the morning, and we're getting into Davao at 6 a.m. or something crazy like that. So, but it is what it is. So at least there won't be a whole lot of traffic on the road when we get there to go from Davao to Tagum, where my wife's family is and where we're staying. So thankfully it won't be too bad. It'll be my little man's first international flight, so that's always going to be interesting. And he is flying on lap, not in his own seat, because I'm cheap and I didn't want to pay for another seat for him, because it's not cheap to fly internationally with your family. So that'll definitely be an experience. We will be back before the January show, so we'll definitely have a whole bunch of fun stories of Vinny's first trip to the Philippines. I will try to get Kirk all of the video of that trip, so you guys can enjoy my pain and suffering of traveling with my family. Let's see here, Bob. Do they have ladies in their 40s and 50s attending the socials? I'm in my 60s. Yes, Bob, they do. They have ladies running from 18 years old to, I believe, 60 is the oldest lady that we've ever had attend a social in the Philippines. But the ladies in the Philippines all look very, very young. So we did one show a while back, and we were talking to some ladies in, I think it was in Davao. And the one lady was sitting there, and I was asking the ladies, how old they were, and she's like, I'm 53, and I was like, no, and I thought they were messing with me. And after the show, they texted me a picture of her ID card, and in fact she was in her early 50s, and I could have sworn the girl couldn't have been much older than me, my age at most, you know, mid 30s, but she was in her early 50s and she looked, you know, fantastic. So yeah, no, the Asian ladies, they age very well. You know, they all always look very young. You know, most people that meet my wife, they, you know, still think she's in her early 20s, and my wife's, you know, in her early 30s. When she first came here, my stepdad actually, he asked me, so he leaned over, he's like, "You're sure she's 18, right?" I'm like, "Dad, she's 27. He's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yes, I've seen her ID, Dad. I know how old she is." So, you know, definitely don't worry about that. There's girls of all age groups there. Also too, Bob, your age doesn't really matter. 60 years old is nothing. You know, girls in their 20s and 30s have no issues, you know, meeting and marrying men of your age. It's not an issue for them. Your age is really no concern. Dave, have you flown Philippine Air? Yes. Is the flight okay? Sometimes. Would you use them again? Yes. So Philippine Airlines has two planes, or two types of planes. They have the Boeing 777, which is the one you want, and they have the 10-year-old Airbus A380. You don't want that one. There is not individual TVs, and the TVs don't always work, and the plugs for the headphones for the TV on the wall or on the ceiling a couple rows up from you, they don't always work either. So don't get the Airbus flight. Make sure if you're flying Philippine Airlines, you are booking the Boeing 777 version, which is usually, I believe, flights, oh God, I forget now which it is. There's like a flight 102, 103, and then there's a flight like 111 and 112, or 112 and 113. Look at the thing when you're booking your flight. Look to see which one says Boeing 777. Book that flight. Even if it's a little bit more expensive, book that flight. Because they do go LA to Manila direct. If you book the Airbus A380, you have a lovely tarmac layover in Honolulu for an hour and a half. You don't get off the plane. They also say it's a direct flight, but you have an hour and a half tarmac layover in Honolulu. So it adds an hour and a half to 2 hours onto your flight time for no reason. Simply for the fact that the old Airbuses, when they're loaded to capacity, they cannot make it across without a refuel stop. And one of the ways Philippine Airlines supplements the price of fuel and the price of flight and travel is they transport cargo in the hold as well. So there's a portion of which is also why Philippine Airlines charges so much for additional baggage. They don't want your baggage. They want to put cargo on there that they're doing the baby shark dance, just FYI. I know this dance from my kid. This is the baby shark. That's mama shark. Baby shark is the little fingers. Mama shark is this. Daddy shark is the big arm movement. See, I know these things. I have a child. Oh, that's grandma shark. Or grandpa shark maybe. They're doing it wrong. I know they're doing it wrong now. Yeah, I would fly them. Just make sure you're flying the Boeing 777. It's much better than the other option. And you can go LA to Manila straight through 13 and a half, 14 hours. So it's fine. Just get the Boeing flight. All right, guys, it is that time. We have been here for an hour. We are going to wrap it up so that we can all go home. My little guy's probably hungry and terrorizing this office here, so I have to go find out what he's doing. So again, just want to thank you for being with us each and every month. We are always on the first Wednesday of every month, so do remember that. Check the website for the links for us. Again, if you want to see this show more often, please email John at john@loveme.com and say, "John, we need more Greg and Glenda." All right, guys, I will talk to you all soon. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful month and be safe and book a trip. All right, bye.